get started now.
All right, and thank you, Kyle, for sharing the news in Oswego County. Thank you all for joining today's MIP hours. We have Connect All leadership with us today. We would like to share a little bit of information with you all about the timeline and the process that we will be going through as we work to amend the GDAs for the projects that received an extension from Treasury. So with that, I will hand it over to Josh Breitbart, Senior Vice President of Connect All, to talk through next steps. Thank you.
Thank you, Selena. I just wanted to start by thanking all of you, as well as the whole team at Connect All and our consultant team for the work of securing the extensions from Treasury. I think we tried to calculate it, and Treasury probably had to process about 1,000 extension requests across the country. We got ours in, I think, on the early side, and we're able to get that certainty a lot earlier than some other states and projects that I've been dealing with. And again, that's a testament to the collaborative effort to get to that stage. This next stage, as the team will walk through today, is absolutely critical because those extensions were not meant to push the last minute midnight deadline from December 31st, 2026 to June 30th, 2027. It was meant to be realistic about the fact that working up until midnight on the last minute of the Treasury deadline is not a feasible way to complete these projects for a variety of reasons, not least of which, if anything remains to be resolved or cleaned up, as we're going to talk about, that can't happen in July and still be eligible for reimbursement under this program. So when we work through these timelines, now that we've progressed through as much as we have together, now that you have as much clarity and visibility into the actual conditions and the work plans that you have, the milestones and the work plans and the progress and the rate of progress that you're going to be putting in place at this stage of the project are absolutely critical. There's no additional time coming. There's no additional money in the program. So those things are not going to move from this point on. So we're going to have to just move the progress. We're going to have to move the work. If we don't hit certain marks, they're going to have to figure out a way that we make up for that. And I say we because I want to really emphasize that in crafting these milestones and these timelines at this point in the process, as we work through the steps to implement the new deadlines into revised grant disbursement agreements, that collaboration also has to continue throughout. So if something is coming up, you need to really be proactive about communicating that so that the team can support you in addressing those issues or figuring out if it's how are you going to make up for it in the next phase of work. We are so excited to see projects coming online, making progress, building across the state. And again, this is the critical phase where we're going to make that real in every step of the way. But I really just want to emphasize that, we're going to have to, in these timelines, account for all aspects of this program, from reaching substantial completion to any additional allowable activities, any remediation, getting all of those items that can be reimbursed done by the deadline, and making sure that also all the payment packages are in, everything is fully documented, and all of that can be completed by the deadline for completing that, so we can move all the reimbursement payments out the door in good order. And again, that all has to be sequenced according to the plans across all the projects. And again, just want to thank you all for working with Connect All on those steps. I'll hand it over to the team to walk through the timeline, the phasing, and the processes for that, and share the status update of where we are in the process. But again, just want to thank everybody for getting to this point as we look to move into this next phase of the Municipal Infrastructure Program. Thank you, and I'll hand it back to Rose.
Thanks, Josh. And Kirsten, I know you might be having a little bit of a connection issue, so just let us know when, if you want to hop in at any point, just come off mute. But I can walk through the timeline quickly.
Perfect. If you can go through the timeline now.
Great. Can you see my screen? Great.
Yes.
All right. Thanks, Lena. All right, so at the last office hours, we discussed how Treasury has granted project extensions to some projects, which extend the period of performance for those approved projects to June 30th, 2027. And we discussed how ESD cannot amend our award documents, our grant disbursement agreements, with revised substantial completion dates until after Treasury amends its award to ESD. So we don't have another update, but Treasury has advised, as we stated last time, that they expect to provide an amended award agreement to ESD in August. And so we are still looking for that in the next few weeks. And as Josh said, in the meantime, so that we're prepared for when that comes, Connect All is starting the process of updating Exhibit E so we can move quickly to amend the grant disbursement agreements once Treasury has amended our award and we get that official green light. Just a quick reminder on that, and I know we said this last time, but we will use the data that you submit in your weekly project reports as a really critical input into that amendment process. We know you in your extension applications provided estimated timelines, but as time is elapsing since then, we need to make sure that all of those project reports are accurate on a week-over-week basis, and that will facilitate the fastest amendments to those grant disbursement agreements that are actually based on progress to date. So please make sure that those project reports come in on time and that they're accurate. Over the next 2 to 3 weeks, we will pre-populate revised milestone tables, and we will use the revised milestones that you submitted with your extension requests and the data in the weekly progress report to draft that table. And we will schedule separate times to review those changes with you, with each grantee as needed. So that's why the project reports are really important to keep up to date. If you have any questions about that process, or if you're having any trouble with your project reports, please reach out to me and your program manager to make sure we can address those as soon as possible. Anything else, Kirsten, that you wanted to flag on this?
Sure. Thanks, Rose. Thank you, Josh, and good to see all the grantees on the call. So one of the other things that we wanted to share through the revisions to the Exhibit E milestone is one of the changes that we're going to be making is taking that last milestone and dividing it so that we separate out substantial completion being achieved from the QA/QC process, and also the continuation of the customer signups and connections. So really what we want to do is we want to facilitate having those, helping you achieve substantial completion and being paid for substantial completion earlier in that during that extension, and then saving a smaller amount at the end to cover expenses associated with remediation or customer connections. And as Josh said at the beginning, one of the things that is important for all grantees to keep in mind is that the costs of remediation are eligible expenses so long as they are incurred during the period of performance. So if you go up until June 30th and then you have remediations afterwards, those costs incurred after June 30th are not reimbursable to the grant. So we want to make that really clear for everyone, and also help structure the payments so that it facilitates earlier completion and still leaves time for you to continue working on smaller components, either remediations or customer connections, to fully leverage the period of performance for those smaller activities. So that's a key change that you're going to see in the drafts that we'll be sharing, and just wanted to go through that with you in this context. So I think those were the key highlights that we wanted to share. So I think maybe let's open it up to folks for any questions, either on the extension, the Exhibit E changes, the timeline, anything that we've discussed so far, or just other questions that the team has. Right, not hearing anything from the room. Does anyone have any highlights they want to share? Anything in their deployment that you want to particularly call out, share with your fellow grantees?
Kristen, I don't know if you were here for the top of the call, but Kyle at Oswego County gave us a really exciting update that Oswego County has started underground construction. So just wanted to make sure you got that really exciting news. And then I know, I'm just looking at who we have. I know the rest of the grantees on the call all have exciting news, and you're all working really hard to progress your deployment. So I know you have good news. So just want to celebrate all of the work that each of you is doing.
I saw Pat come off mute.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, thank you. Just some quick snapshots of the good news from STN side of things. We are down to about 60 miles left of construction out of our 223. We received 10 of our 19 Frontier licenses in hand. So that was great news. Took some back and forth, some help of Selena and team to kind of word things correctly and push them a little bit to receive our licenses. And as of today, we hit our 250th customer sign up on our MIP areas. So all great news across the board.
Congratulations. That's very
you.
exciting on all those fronts.
I appreciate that so much.
And Kyle, congratulations on starting underground construction. That's a great milestone for the project, for the county and for all the residents who will get service.
Yeah, thanks. We're excited. We have three different contractors out throughout the county in our 6 different service areas. So things are going well so far with underground.
I see we have Heather and Lauren from Sullivan County. Heather, Lauren, anything you'd like to share on the construction that you guys are undertaking?
I don't want to speak out of turn. I think right now we're looking forward to getting the end of the summer so our population goes back down to a normal size and makes underground construction a heck of a lot easier than it is right now. So 3 weeks to Labor Day.
Yep. All right. Going once, going twice. See Dryden, Livingston. Anything you want to share?
I'm not on the construction side of things. I'm only on the permitting side, so I'm not 100% sure where we're at mileage wise.
Same here on behalf of Franklin. I'm just covering for Keith today. I'm more so permitting focused, so I don't have a good milestone update to give for you guys, but just wanted to check in, say hi.
Great. All right. Well, I don't want to keep folks on longer than need to. I know you're all very, very busy. So as Rose said, we'll be reaching out this week, set up times to start talking through revisions to the exhibit, the milestone exhibit. And so we'll be starting that process with y'all and looking forward to getting our agreement with Treasury and then being able to execute the subrecipient grant agreements with you all to reflect the project extension. All right. So with that, thanks very much and have a great day.
Thanks, Kirsten. Bye, guys.
Thanks, Kirsten.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone, so much. Bye-bye.